This is Chris the Nightmare Viola, and you're watching Mission Boxing Today on YouTube.
Heavyweight boxing fans, what's the deal? So somebody sent me this article. It was released yesterday. It's my first time seeing it this morning. David Haye says, I'm working on my next fight, something to excite fans. All right, now this is courtesy of BoxingScene.com. I'm going to go ahead and read what David Haye had to say, and I'm going to give my opinion about all this. It's on Boxing Scene, and he told this to the Mirror, okay? So he says, I'm working on my next fight. I want it to be a substantial fight, a fight that gets people excited. It's a good time to be in the heavyweight division in the UK. You got Anthony Joshua, who has a world title, Tyson Fury as well. It's a real healthy environment for heavyweight boxing at the moment. We're split for choice. Lennox Lewis was the only British heavyweight champion at the time he was champion. So was Frank Bruno. Then he goes on to say, now we got 2 current heavyweight champions, possibly 3 if I get a world title fight. It's a situation that's never happened before. I believe within a year I'll have a version of a title, whether that's against Anthony Joshua, against the winner of Tyson Fury's rematch with Vladimir Klitschko, or against Deontay Wilder. I'm focusing on the British side of things at the moment, but in boxing, anything can happen, Haye said. All right. It's funny that he said the winner of the rematch of Klitschko versus Fury. You know, he's already fought Klitschko and he lost, and it took him hell and hot water to get in there with him. And then we know the Fury fights, he pulled out of both of those fights. But it's a new year, it's a new day. That was the past. You know, I'm not going to get too much on about anything that happened in the past. But now we know that a fight with Shannon Briggs was supposed to be next. He told Briggs, well, let's rewind, okay? Briggs invaded his press conference with Arnold Jerichai when that fight took place, all right? He invaded the press conference with the Let's Go champ and, you know, Shannon Briggs doing his usual thing. Then David Haye said, hey, man, you fight on my undercard, I'll fight you. So Shannon Briggs went out to the UK, met with the right people, did what he had to do. Voila, he was on David Haye's undercard. I believe he fought Zarate, a guy named Zarate. He was trying to get Alexander Dmytrenko, but that fell through, and then he ended up getting Zarate, knocked him out, all right? So since then, I thought it was pretty much supposed to be Shannon Briggs versus David Haye. Now, last week, or was it last week or 2 weeks ago, David Haye and Shannon Briggs were both at the Barclays for a fight. And Shannon Briggs was chasing him down, you know, saying, let's go, champ. David Haye trying to yell his name and, you know, try to do what he does. And David Haye just kept walking. He just kept going. And this time they were in Shannon Briggs' hometown. Shannon Briggs is from Brooklyn, New York. So it was weird that Haye didn't stop, at least to sell the fight. He didn't have to get into an argument with Briggs, but at least try to sell the fight, their supposed fight that's supposed to happen in the UK. But he just kept walking. He didn't pay Shannon Briggs no mind. Now, could he probably not stop because he didn't want to get into a verbal altercation with Shannon Briggs? Because we know Shannon Briggs can talk circles, squares, and triangles around David Haye. Although David Haye can build a fight, you know, with his talking too, but Shannon Briggs on a different level when it comes to that. You know, so I'm not sure what David Haye has up his sleeve, man. As far as reading this article, it makes me think like, well, are you going to fight Shannon Briggs? Because he didn't even mention Shannon Briggs in his article. And he ignored Shannon Briggs a few weeks ago when they, you know, were at the same venue in Brooklyn, New York. So I'm not sure what's going on. Now, we know what this WBA tournament has pretty much gone to shit. And when this tournament first began, I even did a video on it. And I said, man, I don't trust this tournament. I think something's going to happen in this tournament. And since the tournament has started, I mean, the Klitschko Fury rematch got rescheduled. Okay. Lucas Browne beat Chigaev. Then he got stripped of that title because he tested positive for clenbuterol. They gave Chigaev back the title. Then they reached out to him. Well, they reinstated him as the WBA regular champion. Then they reached out to Chigaev, the WBA did, to inform him he needs to fight his rematch with Oquendo. They reached out to him 3 different times. He didn't respond. I guess he wants to go ahead and retire. Now you have Luis Ortiz. Him and Ustinov, that fight doesn't like it's going to take place because Ortiz is trying to find a new promoter. So that's still up in the air. But I thought I seen something about some type of purse bid taking place, but I'm not sure. But as I know, that fight is up in the air. It won't happen in September. All right, so on the Canelo versus Liam Smith on the card, so it's not taking place then. Then you have Oquendo on the other side that had a bye. How did he get a bye? I have no clue how they gave Oquendo a bye. So I'm not sure what's going on right now, man. I'm not sure what's going on. But David Haye, he is highly rated, man, by a few of the sanctioning bodies. I'm looking on the rankings right now. On WBA, they have the rankings I'm looking at, which is on fightnews.com. And WBO has David Haye number 4. The IBF has David Haye number 3. The WBA has David Haye number 5. And the WBC has David Haye number 6. This dude is highly rated by all these sanctioning bodies. Now he's saying this next fight is going to excite the fans, well, I hope it isn't Arnold Jai, although I did videos on Jai months before the David Haye fight saying that he needs to go to the UK or the USA for a fight. He disappointed me, man. He literally laid down in that fight. And Jai is a guy who I did prospect videos on like a year ago, way before the David Haye fight was even thought of. Demore, that again, both of those fights go hand in hand. I don't think either guy even punched David Haye, man. Like, to be honest with you, I think he got his glove punched. That was it. I don't think Haye even got punched yet since he's been back. Some of you may say, oh, it's because the defense is that good. No, man, I don't think nobody even tried to even punch the dude back. So I'm not sure what surprise David Haye has in store. I like to see the Shannon Briggs fight. But I'm trying to, I'm thinking maybe the WBA may throw something together where they're having him fight for the regular WBA title. Maybe because he is highly rated by the WBA, maybe they insert him to fight Oquendo for that regular title that has now since been vacated since it got reinstated to Chigayev. Maybe they have him fight for that. I'm not sure. He says he's going to win a version of the heavyweight title within the next year here. So but I don't think he's talking about one of these little, interim titles or one of these, regular titles. I think he wants one of the titles that Anthony Joshua, Deontay Wilder, or Tyson Fury has. I don't think he really wants a regular title. I hope he didn't say he didn't want it, but he didn't mention, fighting for that title. So I'm not sure what the hell David Haye is going to do. I don't know what he has up his sleeves, but the Shannon Briggs fight just seems like it might not happen just based on he totally ignored the dude at the Barclays, man. Just ignored him as if they don't have a fight coming up. Usually, but I don't know with David Haye, man. I really don't know. Then he's highly rated by all these sanctioning bodies, so I'm not sure if he's trying to position himself for a fall fight with Anthony Joshua. I'm not sure, man. Maybe Joshua fights him, but Joshua and his team, they haven't mentioned David Haye's name. Only people I've heard them mention, Berman Stavern. Who else did they mention? I know they mentioned Stavern and Kurbat Pulev, who was also highly rated by the IBF. He's number 2. Haye's number 3. He's right there, man. So I'm not sure what David Haye is going to do. I wish I had an answer for it, but I'm not sure. I know he's been trying to micromanage Anthony Joshua's career through the media. He's always telling, giving his 2 cents about who Joshua should fight and shouldn't fight because it might mess up their fight. So I'm not sure if he's trying to position himself for a fall fight with Joshua, or I'm not sure if he's trying to, get involved with this WBA tournament and possibly fight for that regular WBA title. I don't know. All I do know is it seems like that Briggs fight, it might not happen just based on Haye hasn't even brought his name up after the heyday event that happened on the Jai card. Unless you guys can send me some links of him talking about Briggs, I haven't even heard Haye mention Briggs since that fight card. So I'm not sure if they had a contract signed, Haye and Briggs, because if that's the case, then most likely the fight will go down unless Briggs, or unless Haye wants to get sued or something. But I don't know, man. It just seems as if Haye doesn't want a Briggs fight. Not so much that he's scared. I just believe he probably feels that, hey, how was fighting Briggs going to get me closer to a title? But in Briggs' case, I mean, he can argue the fact that he is highly rated by the WBA. Briggs is rated number 6 and Haye's rated number 5. You know, so according to the WBA, I'm talking about those rankings. So I really don't know what's going on with David Haye, man. I guess we'll see what happens. But me trying to sit here and figure this shit out, I'll be doing this all day because I really don't know. Then the IBF, the WBO, I'm looking. I see David Price is rated number 12, but I wouldn't see why Haye, who's rated number 4, would want to fight David Price, who's rated number 12. Last time I heard of Price, he's trying to possibly get a fight with Eric Molina. So I'm not sure, man. You guys let me know what you think about this. I'm out.